Hey everyone, it's Betsy here, and today we are going to take fractions and turn them into percents, and then we're going to take percents and turn them into fractions. So let's get started. The first thing I want to show you up here, when you have a fraction and the denominator is 100, the top number is your percent. So a lot of times, like especially if you don't have a calculator and you can easily turn the denominator into 100, do that because it's a quick way to find the percent. So like, let's look at number 1. I got 3/4. Well, I can multiply the bottom by 25, and now I've got 100. If you multiply the bottom by 25, you got to do the top by 25, because 25 divided by 25 is 1. So we're just really hitting it with a 1. So 3 times 25 is 75. So if the denominator is 100, which it is, 100, the top number is your percent. And there we go, 75%. We doing okay? All right, let's take a look at another one. All right, the bottom number is already 100, so the top number is my percent. Not too bad, eh? All right, look at the next one. The bottom number is 100, so the top number is my percent. Boom, we are done. All right, the next one, it's not too easy to turn the bottom into 100. So in that case, I would just divide it. Remember, fractions are just division. So how would I do that? I'd go 3 divided by 8, which is 0.375. Now we have a decimal, but we need to change that decimal to a percent. And how do we do that? By multiplying by 100, which is the same thing as moving the decimal 2 places to the right. So we get 37.5%. So if you want to change a decimal to a percent, you just move the decimal 2 places to the right. That's all there is to it. All right, now we're going to use the same theory up here to change our percents to fractions. So I have 3.5%. That's the same thing as 3.5 over 100. But the problem here, you never want to have a decimal in your fraction. That's just not proper math. See that decimal there? We need to get rid of it. To get rid of it, we need to move it 1 place to the right. So what am I going to do? I'm going to multiply by 1 with 1 0, 10. 10. If I do the top and bottom, we're just hitting it with a 1. There's nothing wrong with that. So 3.5 times 10 is 35. 100 times 10 is 1,000. Now, if you look at the numerator and the numerator ends in a 5, the denominator ends in a 0. If a number ends in a 5 or a 0, it is always divisible by 5. So I'm going to divide the top by 5, and I'm going to divide the bottom by 5. And when I do that, 35 divided by 5 is 7, and 1,000 divided by 5 is 200, and that's it. We are done. So our fraction is 7 divided by 200. 3.5% is 7 over 200. If you divide that out, you're going to get 0.035 as a decimal. And how do we change a decimal to a percent? We just move that decimal 2 places to the right. There you go. We get the same answer. Let's take a look at the next one, 24%. What are we going to do here? Well, it's percent over 100, so that's what we're going to do. And I can reduce this by 4 on the top and the bottom. When I do that, I get 6 over 25. And that is 24% as a fraction. Now our next one here, oh, you might want to get a piece of chocolate or something to drink, because this one might take just a little extra time. But we can do it. We're going to go back to what we learned about repeating decimals, though, first. So the repeating decimal is 36. We got 0.36, 36, 36, 36 repeating. But we learned about what to do when we have a repeating number and we want to turn it into a fraction. So I've got 36 that's repeating, and I want to change it to a fraction. Because both numbers are repeating, all we have to do is put 2 9s underneath. It's 2 numbers that are repeating, so I use 2 9s. And I can reduce this by 9 on the top and bottom, and I get 4/11. So this is actually 2 4/11%. Now, we're still going to use the same method we've been using. I'm going to put my percent over 100. So I'm going to get a different color here. I'm going to erase a little bit of this out, make it a little easier, a little more room to work. So let's erase this over here. All right, just give ourselves a little more room. And when I do that, that was our percent. We are going to take our percent like we've been doing and put it over 100. So I have 2 4/11 over 100. We can do this. Let's change the mixed number on the top to an improper fraction. 2 times 11 is 22, plus 4 is 26. So I get 26/11. Now that's divided by 100. If you want to put the 100 over 1, you can. And remember, we don't divide fractions, we multiply. So we're going to take 26/11, we're going to change it to multiplication, and when we do that, we've got to flip the other fraction. So we get this. Now, we can reduce 26 and 100. What goes into both of those? Well, 2 goes into both of them. 2 goes into 26 13 times, and 2 goes into 50, or 150 times, excuse me. Now, when I do this out, can I do anything else? Is there anything else I can reduce? I don't see anything. Do you see anything? No. So the next thing I'm going to do is take 13 times 1 is 13, and 11 times 50 is 550, and that's our fraction. And we are done. What do you think? That one's a little more difficult, but I think you can handle it. I'll be throwing some extra problems in on this at a later date, so if you need more practice with it, I will eventually put some more practice up. I hope this helps, and I hope you have an awesome day. Thank you, and please subscribe. La la la.